Welcome to this explainer for CHD 222. We're going to lay out the exact roadmap you need to successfully navigate and honestly just absolutely crush your teaching social studies course. I'm so excited to walk you through this material today. Whether you're trying to wrap your head around the core objectives of this class, or you just want the brass tacks on how to secure a great grade, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to look closely at the course structure, the expectations, and the exact logistical steps you've got to take to succeed. Okay, here's our game plan for today. We'll start with a welcome to CHD 222, then look at your course objectives, the weekly schedule, the late work policy, and finally, wrap up with some pro tips for success. Let's dive right into Section 1. Welcome to CHD 222, the big picture. So the core philosophy of this course is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. We take a global approach to the theory and practice of teaching social studies. Listen, we aren't just memorizing historical dates or looking at maps in a vacuum here. We're actively learning how to bring a truly global perspective to early childhood education. It's all about bridging that gap, right? Taking the high-level theory of social studies and applying it to the everyday practice of teaching it to young, developing minds. And to actually pull off that global approach, you're going to be applying these theoretical and philosophical concepts practically through an integrated curriculum. Basically, this means we're blending methods and materials for teaching geography, history, the arts, and multicultural education all at the exact same time. And why do we do it this way? Well, it's because this kind of integration perfectly mirrors how young minds actually learn and process the world around them. You're not just going to be reading about this stuff. You've got to actively participate in in-class demonstrations and field experiences to really see how all these subjects connect in a real live classroom setting. All right, moving right along to Section 2, your course objectives, the landmarks. It's actually super fascinating how adult-level academic disciplines translate into bite-sized concepts for kids. For history, you'll learn to explain how time, continuity, and change relate to the early childhood curriculum. Geography, that's going to focus on explaining people, places, and environments. Economics gets translated into the basics of production, distribution, and consumption. And finally, civics and government is really all about teaching the foundational concept of citizenship. Essentially, you're learning how to distill the entire complex world into concepts that a young child can just naturally grasp. But being a truly impactful teacher isn't just about mastering the subject matter. It's fundamentally about developing a child's awareness of self, of others, and of their community. So you'll learn to plan, assess, and investigate resources to build a curriculum that actively supports that. And more importantly, you'll learn to develop critical thinking activities that bring a really strong multicultural approach right into your classroom. By the end of this course, you'll have cultivated a deep global awareness of these interconnections, which is going to empower your future students to understand their exact place in the world. Let's shift gears to Section 3, the weekly schedule, navigating the course. Okay, your weekly operational routine is literally your key to success here. First things first, you've got to follow along by accessing your course calendar. You'll find this right away in the Start Here module, specifically tucked inside the Course Documents and Resources folder. Seriously, make that folder your absolute best friend. Also, you'll want to keep an eagle eye out for weekly announcements because those are going to contain important college information as well as the specific assignments due that week. And go ahead and burn this time into your brain right now. All assignments are due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. of the week they're assigned. Getting a handle on this routine now is going to set you up with the time management skills you absolutely need as a pro educator. Which brings us to Section 4, the late work policy, rules of the road. Look, we get it. Sometimes life just gets in the way. If an assignment or a quiz is late, you aren't immediately failed. You do have a grace period of exactly 7 days to get that missing work completed. But this safety net definitely comes at a cost. For every single day an assignment is late, 10 points are going to be deducted from your grade. And once you hit day 8, meaning it's been over 7 days with 0 submission, that window slams completely shut and a 0 will permanently remain as your grade in the gradebook. And speaking of a 0, there's actually another really fast way to earn one in this course. It is absolutely vital that you adhere to those due dates. And honestly, most importantly, that you actually attend class during each scheduled meeting. Why? Because so many of your assignments are going to be completed in class through those hands-on demonstrations and field experiences we talked about earlier. If you aren't there during those collaborative sessions, you literally cannot make up the experience, and you will earn a 0 for that assignment. Remember, showing up is half the battle. Your presence really matters, not just for your own learning, but for your peers too. Finally, let's look at Section 5, Pro Tips for Success, Insider Secrets. All right, Here is a massive pro tip to make sure that you successfully complete this class. Always access your materials and assignments through the weekly modules page. Do not, and I repeat, do not try to shortcut the system by just clicking on assignments directly in the gradebook. And here's why. Each weekly module contains essential contextual information, readings, and resources that are specifically designed to assist you in successfully completing the assignments for that exact week. If you just bypass the modules, you're missing the actual instruction, and you're just making the work significantly harder for yourself. So, what's your immediate mission the second you finish this explainer? Step 1, head straight over to the Start Here module and thoroughly review all the information there. Step 2, take your syllabus quiz. That syllabus quiz is officially your very first assignment for the course. And here's a hint, every single answer can be found by carefully reviewing that Start Here module. So go get that easy win under your belt right out of the gate and build some momentum. By just following these simple logistical steps, checking your calendar, sticking to those Sunday 11:59 p.m. deadlines, actually attending class, and working through the modules, you're setting up a totally stress-free framework. And that frees up all your mental energy for what truly matters, diving into our integrated global curriculum. You've got the roadmap, you understand the policies, and you know the objectives. So the only question left is, how are you going to use this knowledge to completely change the way your future students see the world?